Hello students, welcome to 8th Standard Science Term 1, Lesson 1 Measurement. Before entering into the lesson, I just want to remind you that please maintain a separate book and note down all the points which are being presented in the study material video, because at the end of the study material video there are few questions to answer. If you note down the important points in a separate book, it will be easy for you to answer those questions at the end of this video. Measurement lesson. This is familiar to you. In 6th and 7th standard also you are having the same lesson. So you have some knowledge about this lesson. We just recall our past experience. What are the terms required to understand about this lesson? Fundamental quantities, fundamental units and measuring instruments. Length, mass, time, meter, kilogram, second. These are the some common terms which we know already about this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about remaining fundamental quantities and their fundamental units which you are not studied in earlier classes. So from this lesson, what we are going to learn? To understand SI units, base quantities and base units. Explain the system of units and measurements. Analyze the different system of units. Know about the temperature. What is measurement? Measurement is the process of finding an unknown physical quantity by using a standard quantity. Let us take some examples to understand measurement. Have you ever seen your mother putting every ingredient carefully in certain amount while cooking? Sometimes when you are not well, your parents might touch your forehead to find whether you have fever or not. Sometimes you are able to figure out that your school bag is heavier or lighter from other days just by holding it. All this may not be accurate or exact, but this is a rough idea. This rough idea is called estimation. In many cases, estimation skill is very useful to our daily life. Do you think this estimation will work in all the time? No, definitely not all the times. Like if you want to go to a friend's house and you have his address but no idea how far or near it is, then you will be confused whether you will be go there by on foot or use a bicycle or you need to take a bus. In this case, knowing the exact distance between your home and your friend's home helps you to choose the appropriate mode of transportation. Let us take another example. How do you verify the new pair of pants is of correct length for you? That is, it is of your exact size. For this, you measure your length, right? So, what is measurement? How you can take your measurement? Measurement is nothing but comparing an unknown quantity with a known quantity. If you want to measure your length, you need an instrument like a measuring tape. By measuring, you will get accurate length, breadth, height, capacity, or even quantity of an object. No, not just this, even the distance traveled or the duration takes can be measured. What is a physical quantity? Anything which we can measure is known as physical quantity. For example, height, weight, time, etc. Our sadness, our feelings, our happiness, we cannot measure with any measuring instruments. So, they are not under physical quantities. So, the physical quantity must be measured with an instrument. How can we measure a physical quantity? We need three things for a perfect measurement. They are an instrument, a standard physical quantity, an acceptable unit. For example, if you want to know the size of your science textbook, so you need an instrument. That instrument is nothing but your scale. So you want to measure the physical quantity length by using the acceptable unit. Based on the size of the object, the acceptable unit may change. Even the instrument also change. Here are some measuring instruments: balance, clock, scale, thermometers. Balance is used to measure the mass. Clock is used to measure the time. Scale is used to measure the length, and the thermometers are used to measure the temperature. Types of physical quantities. There are two types of physical quantities. Fundamental quantities, for example, length, mass, time. Derived quantities, examples are area, speed, volume. System of units. People in various parts of the world are using different system of units for measurement. They are CGS, FPS, MKS. Let us discuss one by one. CGS system. In the CGS system, C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, S stands for second. In CGS system, they are using centimeter for length, gram for mass, second for time. FPS system. This is also called as British system. In this, F stands for foot, P stands for pound, S stands for second. In FPS system, they are using foot for length, pound for mass, second for time. MKS system. In MKS system, M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram, S stands for second. In MKS system, they are using meter to measure the length, kilogram to measure the mass, and second to measure the time. In these three kinds of system, time is measured with second. This is common for these three kinds of systems. People are using different kinds of systems in every part of the world. So it gives some inconvenience to others. So there is a need of common system of units. That is nothing but International System of Units. It is the system of units which are universally acceptable, more commonly called as SI units. Many people have a confusion why it is called as SI unit. Why not IS system? The reason is it is abbreviated from the French name Système International des Unités, in short form called as SI units. International System of Units. In short, we can write SI system. And this kind of system was developed by General Conference on Weights and Measures, which is held in 1971. Fundamental quantities. Definition. The basic quantities that are required to define any other physical quantities are called fundamental quantities, and their units are called fundamental units. The scientists choose 7 physical quantities as base quantities. They are as follows: length, mass, time, electric current, absolute temperature, luminous intensity, quantity of substance. Length, mass, time already you studied in earlier classes. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about remaining 4 physical quantities also. Length, the unit is meter, symbol M. Mass, the unit is kilogram, symbol kg. Time, the unit is second, symbol S. Electric current, the unit is ampere, symbol A. Absolute temperature, the unit is Kelvin, symbol K. Luminous intensity, the unit is candela, symbol CD. Quantity of substance, the unit is mole and symbol is MOL. What is temperature? Let us consider some examples here. One is hot and one is cold. What makes things hot or cold? Now compare the two things. One is hot, another one is hotter. And one is cold and another one is cold. What makes this hotter or colder? Temperature is nothing but degree of hotness or coldness of an object. When we supply heat energy to any other object, the atoms in that got excited and start moving from one place to another. So by supplying heat, the object becomes hot, and by absence of heat, the object gets colder. By continuous supply of heat energy, the hotter objects become hotter. By removing the heat energy, the cold objects become colder. Temperature is an expression of heat energy. Coldness is caused by absence of heat. How to measure the temperature? Can we measure the temperature with our hands? No. We need some standard instrument to measure the temperature. Thermometer is used to measure the temperature. To summarize all these things, temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the particles in the system. Temperature is a physical quantity that expresses the degree of hotness or coldness of a substance. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Temperature is measured with thermometers. Types of scales used in thermometers. Usually, thermometers are calibrated with some standard scales. They are Kelvin, Celsius, and Fahrenheit. Now, we compare with one another. Fahrenheit. In this, the melting point of ice is 32 degrees Fahrenheit and the boiling point of water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. At minus 459 degrees Fahrenheit, that is a complete zero. Celsius scale. The melting point of ice is 0 degrees centigrade and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. At minus 273 degrees centigrade, the complete zero is present. That means the atoms of an object are present in complete resting position. Kelvin. The Kelvin starts with 273 degrees Kelvin. That is the melting point of ice, and 373 Kelvin. That is the boiling point of water. At 0 Kelvin, it is also called as absolute temperature. Conversion of scales of temperature. We know that there are three kinds of scales present on thermometers. Now we have to understand how we can convert Celsius to Kelvin. They use the same scale just shifted by 273. For example, how we can convert 10 degrees centigrade into Kelvin? Simply we have to add 273 to the 10. Then we will get 283 Kelvin. In this way we can convert Celsius to Kelvin. For the Celsius temperature, we have to add 273, then we'll get the Kelvin temperature. How we can convert Celsius to Fahrenheit? Here is some formula. We have to multiply the 18 degrees centigrade into 9 by 5 plus 32. It is equal to 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. This means if you want to convert the Celsius into Fahrenheit, the formula is Celsius degrees into 9 by 5 plus 32 equal to degrees Fahrenheit. If 18 degrees we have to convert into Fahrenheit, then 18 degrees is multiplied with 9 and divided by 5 and add 32. Then we will get 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Here also we can use this formula. We have to subtract the Fahrenheit degrees from 32 and multiply with 5 and divide by 9. Then we will get Celsius. For example, if you want to convert 18 degrees from Fahrenheit into Celsius, we have to subtract 18 from 32 and multiply with 5 and divide by 9. Then we will get minus 7.8 degrees Celsius. If you have any doubts, we can use boiling points to check these equations. So what are the applications of thermometer? Why we have to use the thermometer? Thermometers are meant for to measure the temperature, and there are three kinds of scales. One is Fahrenheit, other one is Celsius, and the last one is Kelvin. So different scale have different applications. Physicians use clinical thermometer which are graduated in Fahrenheit scale. Normal body temperature of a human body is between 98.4 and 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Scientists are using thermometers with Kelvin scale. Common temperature measurements are made in Celsius scale. That is nothing but weather reports are given in Celsius scale. Exercise. Define measurement. What is the need of measurement? Why international system called as SI system of units? What is physical quantity? Give examples. How can we measure temperature? What are the scales used in thermometers? What are the applications of thermometer? Name some measuring instruments. Name the types of system of units. Convert 50 degrees Celsius into Fahrenheit. Students, if you have any doubt, please note the doubts in your book. after reopening you can be ask your teachers and clarify the doubts. Thank you.